get across, your comrades are dead. So what do you do in this situation?
Sacrifice for the
Yeah, you cut the rope, okay? You die. You
Ew.
think about it. You just kill yourself because what matters is not your life. What matters is the family, your rituals, your religion with your children and your grandchildren. And quickly, over time, what will happen is that you guys will conquer
What is your
the
proposed
world.
solution to all of this? I don't have to bring up a solution. Because the solution is not gonna be done through human intervention. Just play your role and educate people around you, that's enough. Because this will need some divine intervention. You have to believe in religions to understand this, because this is a religious war. So what you can do is just prepare yourself for the inevitable, but it's already written what's gonna happen. Have you watched his videos before? He makes a lot of points you do. I've never watched his videos before. And also, I don't know when he did make this video. What he is saying now is 1 month ago. And I said this, what he is saying now, 5 years ago. So he maybe watched me, not I him.
You will become the secret elite. The world is yours. There may be presidents, there may be famous people, but secretly, you're the ones who are in control. Your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren will inherit this legacy, and they are the ones
How
who
much
truly
per
control
semester?
power in the world. Does that make sense?
I get paid in
All right.
puppet combo games.
Yeah, question here.
if when the time, if this person really transferred back to the reality, what if that time already have a leader that, like, you are just a peasant but not a leader?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. I've already told you this, okay? On the surface, there are leaders, but the real power are you guys, okay? And I'll explain why, all right?
He's right. The only reason why the leaders have so much power in this world, unfortunately, is because the humans allow the Jewish people to turn the system upside down, that I explained on the basis of Tekken before with the pyramid model. So, before he keeps talking, I will explain this. Let's say on the top of the triangle is a president, and he is put into this position by the grounds, which is you. Same for the main man, same for FDX and anyone that represents the people. A president is a representative of the people that he is supposedly reigning about, but he doesn't reign the people just elect a person to represent their needs. Now, the Jewish people have created a mind control program that turns this triangle upside down. Now, this person here tells all these people here how they live. And in order to break this cycle, you need to know that this person has no power without you. But as long as you don't understand that in a collective, you can't change it.
Now, what's also interesting is that while you're on this island, you will develop certain rituals that are very strange, but are important if you want to maintain unity. Okay, so for example, one strange ritual is the funeral ritual. The funeral ritual. The idea here is that when someone sacrifices himself, you have a huge funeral to celebrate that person. And this may involve you cutting that person into different pieces and eating that person. Okay? But you will develop really strange rituals. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to answer your question. Why are these guys in charge and not the real leaders of society? But first, I want to give you some historical analogies to this, okay? How do you know that what I'm saying is correct? Well, let's look at certain analogies in history.
Let's see.
All right. So, Sparta. Sparta is one of the most famous military societies in world history. Sparta is a city-state in ancient Greece. And you may have heard of Sparta. A movie about Sparta was made called 300. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the movie 300. But 300 is really about 300 Spartan soldiers who are fighting millions, not millions, but hundreds of thousands of Persian soldiers. Persia is invading mainland Greece. They fight at a place called Thermopylae, the Battle of Thermopylae. And this is the pass into mainland Greece. The Greeks have to hold this position if they are to prevent the invasion. Okay? 300 Spartan soldiers, backed by thousands of other Greek soldiers, make a last stand in this pass. They are overwhelmed by the Persian invasion, and rather than run like most people, the 300 soldiers make a final stand. Their leader is Leonidas, and he tells them, "We will fight to the death." They all fight to the death, and they're all massacred. And the Persians take Leonidas' head, cut it off, and put it on a pike to warn the Greeks, "We are merciless." Eventually, the Greeks, inspired by the sacrifice of Leonidas, they will repel the invasion and destroy the invaders. So how do we get this culture? Okay, well, the education system of the Spartans is really interesting. It's really disturbing, actually. So young boys at age 5 and 6, they're taken away from their homes. And they are put in a school run by older boys. Okay, so the older boys are maybe like 10, 11. And so what happens, as you can imagine, is the older boys beat the crap out of the younger boys, okay? From day one, there's no education. They're not learning anything. All that's happening is the older boys are just beating the crap out of the younger boys. But because this is happening, we call this like hazing, okay? And this happens actually a lot among fraternities and sports teams. When they're getting the crap beaten out of them, it builds solidarity. It builds brotherhood. So these young boys who are 5 and 6, they learn to love each other because only by helping each other can they survive the brutality. Okay? Then what happens is when they become 11, 12, 13, when they hit puberty, this is really interesting, they become mentored, okay? Mentored by an older soldier, an older Spartan soldier who's maybe 28, 29, 30, but he has a family. They become lovers. They have sex with each other. And this...
The Spartans had sex with each other? I didn't know about that. Oh shit, he's right. The fucking Greek people were known for being gay. I completely blended that out. No, he is completely right. He is completely right. He is completely right. It's true. It's really true. I completely forget about these types of things because I don't like gay shit.
This builds group solidarity. Okay, so during hazing phase, these young boys learn to trust each other. They learn how to bond with each other. During the mentorship phase, these young boys learn to think like in a hive mind, okay? They learn to be part of a larger group. Then when they turn 18...
No, the Spartans were known for this because they had a specific type of gayness. The Spartans had the Afghan type of gayness. Afghan men were very powerful ones. They get like concubines, male concubines, young boys. But when they would do it with people in their own age, it's considered gay. But if they do it with young boys, it's like not gay. It's very weird, it's very fucked up and satanic, but I'm just saying that this thing that the Spartans did, the Afghan people do it in the same way. Only difference is that the Afghan people do it for the love of the game, while these people did it for kind of like out of necessity.
They graduate, okay? And in order to graduate, what they do is this. They have a mission. So the
Batshabazia.
Spartans have slaves called helots, okay? These are just people that they've conquered and who are now work as slaves in the fields. For
Now,
them. Okay?
this
They're like
ain't
serfs.
necessary either. I'm not saying that it is necessary. I'm saying out of their perspective. They are, for example, mentor and student. And they do this because they are also away from the females. And it's a bit fucked up. It's like their mentor-student relationship. And the Afghan people have something called Batshabazi, which in perfect translation means children play or play with children. And I understand that language, that's why I can translate it to you. It literally means Batsha means kids, and Bazi means playing with it.
So there are lots of rules governing the helots. An important rule is curfew. So if it's dark at night, you cannot be outside the house. If you are outside the house at night, you could be executed, okay? So as a graduation mission, these young soldiers hide in the fields at night, okay? They hide in the fields and they wait for the sun to go down. So it's now dark. And they look for helots to come back because they're late. And what they'll do is they'll sneak up behind the helots and cut their throats. Okay, this is basically sacrifice. Okay, human sacrifice. So the Spartans did this as well. It's a very common thing. And what this does is it builds.
Do you want to know the context of Jewish human sacrifice? I know the history of that too. You want to know it? Or you know it already?
Group cohesion, leading to synchronicity. There are thousands of city-states in Greece. Only Sparta did this. And it made everyone think Sparta was disgusting.
Okay, human sacrifice for Judaism is a bit... so imagine like Egyptians that did human sacrifice for Ra, and the Eye of Horus, and Fir'aun that you know as Pharaoh, etc. This ideology that went into Judaism through Babylon. And in Babylon, the 12 Talmudic rabbis implemented this basically, and they call this the Oral Torah. And part of this is the mystic teaching of the life of the Tree of Life. And they want to mimic something that Solomon could do, which is invoke spirits that you would call either demons or jinn, in order to achieve outwardly results. So, for example, you want to get knowledge, or you want to achieve a specific type of like outcome that is out of your reach. They would invoke spirits in order to achieve this. And the reason why they take Solomon as a role model is because Solomon could do this at will. But they couldn't do this at will. They had to do human sacrifice, specifically with children, because those spirits demanded to do something that goes against what God wants. And the more closer it was to the birth of a child, the more pure the sacrifice, because they say the younger you are, the less sin you have, and therefore God gets angered the most when you kill that child. Now, not only do you kill that child, but you have to torture it before in order to create a specific frequency. This frequency, you can translate it if you want to adrenochrome. And they had to let these children bleed out and ingest this blood into them, or bake their Passover bread and stuff. That was a little bit different because that's like a ritualistic murder, but not for jinn specifically. This was just for the liberation they had from the Egyptians. And then this ritualistic murder of these children basically lowers their frequency in such a way so that they can contact jinn or spirits, which you could not normally come into contact with. And they would do this in order to gain an edge over the rest of the population. This is just the history of it. If you believe it or not believe it, I don't care. I just want to point out that what happens on Epstein Island and in Hollywood, what keeps getting told to the people that there is ritualistic murder and stuff. Wait a second. Vale. Okay. This is where this comes from. So, yeah, Epstein Island is not only about, like, having some fun. It is about literally murder. But anyways, now I have to go and take a shower. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is real. It still happens. Never stopped. Just gets rebranded. You know, P. Diddy, Epstein Island, freak off parties.